Name drop.
I have a really deep microphone voice. Like people always like, you sound like Tone Loc.
Tone Loc.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay,
So
ready?
why don't we start?
Tone Loc.
We're on.
I was a neighbor. Tone was a
You
neighbor.
were neighbors with Tone Loc?
Wait,
let's start this off quick.
Wait, Tone Loc?
Start
you
this
were
off
neighbors
quick.
with Tone Loc?
My girlfriend at the time, when I lived in LA in the early 90s, when I was just I was a bartender out in Santa Monica.
At which place?
Border Grill. Remember Border Grill?
Yeah.
Mary
Grill,
Sue
yeah.
Milliken and Susan Vinegar had their little.
Where would you live in Santa Monica?
Well, I lived on Beechwood in LA, and then I also worked at City on La Brea. And
What was City?
City La Brea it's where Sonora Cafe is now.
Okay, so that's like over by the Target.
Yeah, so I was a bartender there, and I had this incredible. I mean, I had Christopher Lloyd was in there every day.
Oh, nice.
And I got to know Leonard Cohen, and he was dating Roseanne. It wasn't Roseanne Arquette at the time. It was the sister. It was the one that wrote Roseanne. It was
Patricia
Roseanne
Arquette?
because Toto wrote Rosanna after.
Toto,
About
come
it.
on.
Toto, Steve Lukather.
Jeez, this is like the best.
We haven't even started.
Hold on, let's just because we started. First of all,
Yes, it's good
Kevin
and
Michael
great to be
Griffin,
here.
October 1st, 1968.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you something, and this is a very personal.
Oh,
I'm
I
going to
know
get
where
really
this is
personal
going.
with
I know
you.
where this- You want to celebrate your
I'm
birthday?
going to ask you
Are we
something.
in the Tree of Trust?
I'm going to ask you a personal question, and
That was an old
see if
school
you know this. Tree of
drop
Trust,
right
yeah.
there. That was a Will Ferrell Tree of Trust.
Jimmy Carter.
Yes, I know
Walter
this.
Matthau.
Yeah,
And
I share.
Brian
Mark
McFayden.
McGuire.
Brian McFayden.
I didn't.
And Brian McFayden.
Are you serious? Are you October 1st?
October 1st, man.
Brother, we're Libras.
And my sister's Cabbage Patch doll.
I'm 17th. I'm a Libra. Come on, I can get in there
feel
somehow.
the energy? You feel that right now?
Wow,
All of a sudden
you
we got
really,
really
this
close.
is
Yeah,
almost
October
like
1st.
the
always
Tercel.
said-
I'm just gonna walk
I've always
over
known
here.
Jimmy
while-
Carter. You know,
Yeah.
from,
Can you just give me a second, Chris?
from Plains, Georgia, and yeah, that's amazing.
You were born born in Atlanta. I was born in Omaha, but we both grew up in Monroe, Louisiana.
You did not.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I just-
you've done your Wikipedia due diligence.
Well,
I like
I
it.
do a lot of research, and I have a crazy memory.
But let's
Yeah.
go back to Walter Matthau.
Yeah, Walter Matthau, with my favorite actor
Bad
of all
News
time.
Bears was on the other day.
Oh, what a great
And it's so
movie.
great. They could not make a movie like that with
I
Tatum
had
O'Neal and how
such
dirty.
a crush on Tatum
Tatum
O'Neal.
Ugh.
Man,
Yeah.
she
But
was
I went
like
deep. I was into Paper Moon, which was another.
yeah, Paper Moon was another Tatum O'Neal.
vehicle.
Hutch. Did you guys ever watch those old movies with
Turner and you mean
Man,
Turner?
yeah, okay, I watched
Turner and Hutch.
No, Hutch
It's
was
Turner
in
and
Hutch.
Hooch.
No,
Who's
Hutch.
that? It's
No,
Turner and
Hutch
Hooch.
was the name of a movie that
She was in it. It was
Walter
Tom
Matthau
Hanks
was in.
and that Bull Mastiff.
yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Are you calling her a dog?
No, you poor thing.
No, I mean,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
a dog.
Yeah, it was a
man.
dog.
Huge.
Yeah, I remember the Turner and Hooch. Wasn't that with Tom Hanks?
It was.
Yeah. We just.
It was. He did that. He did Joe and the Volcano. Then that was before he hit his stride with Forrest Gump.
Oh yeah.
in Philadelphia.
Started
Chris and I
crushing.
really we want to thank you for coming on Name Drop. It's so far we name dropped about 20 people.
Yeah,
We
this
never
is
even
probably
got
got
into
the
real
record.
names.
This is the record already. Scott,
No,
I think
C.
Scott
Thomas
Hamilton.
Howell.
Scott
Thomas
Hamilton had.
I was doing my diligence on you
The
guys.
record,
I was just like, see Thomas Howell, get 5 minutes in there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got time.
Yeah.
Well, which one was your favorite episode? You think with
C.
Colby?
Thomas.
C. Thomas. Yeah.
C. Thomas.
Yeah, C.
It's
Thomas.
pretty iconic.
Yeah,
It was pretty crazy to hear him like
Speak?
Oh, countrified now. Really.
voice.
Yeah, he's like,
He
well,
sounds like Sam Elliott.
yeah, you know, I'm doing country, and I'm like, whoa.
You are an apist.
That's the dude.
You do impressions.
I've done,
Musical impressions.
I've done musical impressions for years.
Let's give me your best one.
No,
I already know them,
You know
but
what?
go ahead and give me your best
I'll throw
one.
it out while we're in the midst of the cast.
Okay.
Because I don't want. If I do it now on demand, it'll
Oh yeah,
suck.
it's weird when you
But just
do.
in the middle of it, I'm like, oh my God, you're doing a great Dave Matthews right now.
Yeah.
Did you mean to do that? I was like, no.
Let's get into your career real quick because
Yeah.
you started out in 1988 with your boys Better Than Ezra.
Yes.
You went to LSU.
LSU, and speaking of, Shaquille O'Neal named our band.
Oh, he's got a
No
good show.
way.
Did he really? Better Than Ezra?
Yeah.
How?
Well, I was in this fraternity, still in.
What house?
Kappa Sig.
Okay.
It was the Kappa Sig next door when I pulled up. It was a point in my
Did
life.
you have a secret handshake?
Oh yeah, we do.
What's up, man?
Yeah. No, I can't give it to you. I can't give it to you.
Trishelle showed us.
Your head and legs would be severed from your body in the midst of sleep. But when I graduated in '91, and Shaq was there at LSU at that time, and a good friend who was a brother in the fraternity.
Is that what he sounded like?
Was that Dave Matthews?
When I speak to the eyes, I go into Southern debutante boys like an old Civil War general. I don't know why, but that just feels appropriate. When I talk about the 90s.
When you talk about LSU, that's your voice.
I do. I go into this Aloysius Dubois.
Aloysius Dubois.
Yo, well, Brian, aren't you clever? And you, Chris, with your the honey dip words, lulling me into
Honey
I love that honey dip word.
honey dipped words.
I'm using these.
So Shaq was always over at the house because a guy who was at the fraternity would also played for the Tigers. He was this scrappy point guard. So Shaq was always over there, and we played before we had a band name. We played some songs. We were just a cover band at the time, and I got off stage and we're hanging with Shaq because Shaq was the man. And he goes, "Yeah, man, you still sound better than my Uncle Ezra." And I was like, "Would you?" And then we talked about his Uncle Ezra because I have an Uncle Ezra. And then a couple of days later, we had to play our first show opening for Charlie Sexton. You remember Charlie Sexton and his brother Will Sexton? And Charlie was the hot thing at the time. And my boss, Mark Frioli at Fred's Bar and Grill, who's still a very close friend, and they're still in business. They're like an institution at LSU, Louisiana State University, Fighting Tigers.
So what were you guys calling yourself
by the way,
before?
We didn't have a name.
College baseball champs.
LSU.
Yes,
College
they are.
baseball.
Yeah.
Did you go?
He went to the CWS.
I didn't go. In Omaha. In Council Bluffs. That's where they have it.
No,
No, it's in Omaha.
It's Omaha.
It's down
That's
in
right.
Omaha.
Yeah.
Ezra's
That's where I'm
done a
from.
lot of. Okay, so you know.
Yeah.
Ezra's done a lot of things for the baseball finals. But a few days later, after hanging with Shaq, my boss said, he said, "Do you know anybody can open for?"
Can you do
Charlie?
his impression real quick?
Of who?
Oh, Shaq.
Shaq's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, y'all sound better than my Uncle Ezra.
That's bad. That's not good.
It's not a good
Nah,
one.
just use your regular
What?
voice.
It wasn't good.
Yeah.
He's all right.
It's okay to say it's.
Shaq and I
It was,
really
it was
tight.
okay. What are you talking about, Shaq? And you've never even met Shaq.
I met him one time. It was like I was like, "Hey, Shaq," because I was on it. When I was
You were in the audience.
I was on
You were
CNN.
at the game.
I was there, and I said hi to him because he was sitting with Chuck and who else was he with?
Chuck Schumer.
No,
Chuck, no.
Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley.
You call him Chuck.
I call him Chuck.
Call him
We're
Chuck.
tight. We're tight like
And
that.
let's everybody, like, if it's Robert De Niro, let's make sure we call him Bobby to let people know we're in that.
so
We're
we're
starting this
we're
off
there.
wrong. I want to apologize. I lied to you. I don't know Shaq. I just thought that was a
Hey,
shame.
you're on a
Like,
first name basis with him. Though.
I was just
You call him Shaq?
No, because I felt bad because earlier, this is so funny because he was telling me a Shaq story about how his
Today?
son. Yeah, today, about 20 minutes ago,
That's
his
amazing.
son met Shaq because he used to live in Orlando.
Right.
And Shaq was, of course, he was with the Magic.
Well, that's not where my son met him.
No, you met him here,
Yeah.
trick or treating.
Right.
We actually recorded our very first song at Shaq's house.
Oh,
in Orlando, because that's when he was with the Magic and he had a studio, and he was like, "Man, I'll have these boys come over." And
It was
you know,
Twism Studios.
And it was Twism, yeah, you know Twism.
Of course.
You know
The
Twism.
world is mine. That was the acronym.
The world is
I
mine.
thought
That's
we were
right.
romancing, and now it's
Yeah, now
I know,
it's
right now,
changed.
this is all changed.
Yeah, well, it's funny because JC and I had recorded our parts and went back to the house.
Right.
And we get a call from Justin and Joey. Lance might not have even been in the band yet, but we get a call from Justin and Joey, and they're like, "Dude, right after you guys left, Shaq showed up and took us through the house and all this." And me and JC were like, "What?" Like, we were nobodies. That was like the biggest person we'd ever, literally and figuratively, got to meet. And we were so bummed out that JC wasn't old enough.
missed the
I had to
opportunity.
go buy the liquor. And I'm like, JC, what do I buy? I was like 23, and I didn't
dropped the whole
I know,
really
right?
drink.
The whole band.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Lance, JC, Joey.
And him and I just got wasted. He just said, just get big 40s and make sure they're still in the
But
bag.
Shaq doesn't drink.
No, it was me and JC.
Yeah, JC.
got wasted because we didn't get to
bad
meet.
boys,
We didn't
the
get to meet
bad
Shaq.
boys.
We didn't get to meet Shaq.
But a few days later, I played a show, and my boss said, "What's the name of the band?" And I was like, and I told my boss it wasn't me in the band because he wouldn't have let me because he didn't know if we were any good. And I was like, "Better Than Ezra." And that's
Since 1995, I've been wanting you to know that since Good came out, I was a DJ at 93.7 The Edge in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah,
And you've been there.
Yeah.
That's-
I have been there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Cities 97.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember playing that song. We were all trying to figure out Better Than Ezra. How they come up with this name. It's such a frat boy thing to do.
It is.
Yeah.
It is such it's funny. That was when I was 21, and now here I am at 55 years old, and I have this name Better Than Ezra. So you don't know those things that you come up with as a kid, and then you're still saddled with. No.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's great. But yeah, so that's how. So Shaq. That's That's how it
Shaquille
started.
O'Neal came up with Better Than Ezra. You guys share uncles.
We do. Uncle Ezra.
Uncle Ezra. But not the same uncle, because he's a black guy and you're a white guy.
No, but it's Louisiana. Anything's
never
possible.
know.
Anything's possible.
I can see it.
But Ezra back in the day was a very odd Old Testament name and stuff. So now Ezra,
Like
there's Ezra
Ruth.
Koenig from Vampire Weekend, and there's a lot of hips. It's a hipster name.
See, mine is...
You created a hipster name. It's your fault.
I know, right?
How many uncles do you have?
Now, one.
One uncle?
I think I have one uncle left.
Uncle Mike's and Uncle Bob's and Uncle John's.
Those,
I don't have any
those are
Ezras.
run of the mill.
Yeah.
Bob's, Bill's, a lot of those.
So when you were, first of all, we've met each other a few times, but it's like, I wasn't cool enough. I had frosted tips and shit. But I remember I hosted Miss Teen
Frosted tips are
USA,
back.
and you came down to South Padre Island, Texas.
God, you hosted
that? I hosted the show with Mandy Moore.
Random with Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore. Yeah.
Usher was there.
Usher was there.
Usher
you were
was
there. And I was like, Better Than Ezra.
Wait, hold on. We're missing some names here.
Usher,
Ray Munns was there.
Ray Munns was there because he hosted the next year.
Oh my God!
In South Padre Island, Texas, and it was like a who's who of that time. Willa Ford was there.
Oh my God!
Shout out to Willa.
I just remember I couldn't, like, everyone was like so excited because Usher was there, and I'm like, dude, fuck that. Better Than Ezra is here. I just want to go to the side of the stage and just watch this.
What year was that?
2001.
2001. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys just dropped your.
That was
your
the
latest album.
Closer record.
Yep.
Yeah, with the butterfly on the front.
Yep.
Oh my God, we made it out of that alive.
Yeah. Did you go home with like
because it was such a it was
just
it was
teen angst.
legitimate, but it was also kind of sketchy. A lot of people.
It was so sketchy.
A lot of people in the periphery. Everything on South Padre Island. No disrespect.
You got to remember too.
Remember the MTV beach house things on South Padre?
Oh, yeah,
he did those.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I was a VJ at that time.
I know.
But it was crazy because when you were there, it was like it smelled like estrogen because it was just nothing but like teen angst running around like the stages and shit. But I could not wait to get to the side of the stage so I could watch you guys perform. I was like, this is so cool because it was just college for me.
Yeah.
I think the worst part was I had to host the next year, and it was like the day after spring break ends.
Yeah.
Because you'd already seen that it kind of run its course, and they're like, nobody's probably even gonna watch this. Here, let's get Chris and Willa Ford to host it, and you get down there and you're like, oh. We don't even have trailers. We just have like an outhouse and like a little shed, But it was definitely not as fun as you guys had.
You kind of knew where you were career-wise when we were down there hosting and playing.
Dude, I thought it was... Wow, thanks, man. I thought I was doing well.
Brian's over here going, that was the pinnacle. That was the pinnacle for me.
Are you kidding me? I was like hanging out with hot, 18-year-old girls.
We're thinking, it's got miserable. We're down here. He's going, holy cow, I'm down here.
It was
like
you said, it was like a remnants of like spring break. So it was like just condom wrappers and cocaine.
Oh, God.
So it's
God.
not for me, but I'm just saying that's what it
Who
was.
left cocaine?
No, I'm just saying.
You know who we played with when we were
Said
down
no
there?
one ever.
No one.
Remember Bloodhound Gang?
Oh, I love Bloodhound
what was that
Gang.
song
You
called?
and
Fire.
me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
Kick it up now, you and me.
Wait, burn, mother.
Sweat, baby, sweat.
What happened to Jimmy Pop? You still talk to Jimmy Pop and those guys?
Is that?
I know what's his name. Yeah, Jimmy
I
Pop.
don't remember. We just did a show with him.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I realized yesterday, I actually called our management because I was like, somebody said something about Rammstein. Better Than Ezra shared the stage not only with Rammstein, but Insane Clown Posse and Korn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was a great. It was a
That's
great
like the
bill.
Goo Goo Dolls hanging out
What a
with
mix.
Metallica.
The Goo Goo Dolls hanging out with Metallica.
Back in the '90s, there were those.
Dave Matthews and Judas Priest.
There were these radio festivals,
Yeah.
and they would put. It was just this hodgepodge of bands, and we played right before those bands.
Did you play before or after Rammstein?
We played before Rammstein
Because they had like the whole like
the fire
fireworks.
and the fat big phallus, I guess you'd call it.
So how did you guys feel? Like, what were your boys on tour?
I'll tell you how Insane Clown Posse. It was Albuquerque, and we played right before Insane Clown Posse. And if you don't remember, ICP, as their fans call them, their followers are called juggalos.
Juggalos,
and they get fuego.
They throw shit at you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fuego. So I was playing a song, and I thought they're kind of digging this. And of course, I don't know if you guys remember. Did you ever like open for some or play with some band that was heavier than you? So you're gonna just make it a little more rock.
Yeah.
So I had everything. Even if it was a ballad, I had a distortion. I was like, I'm going to show you guys.
Yeah.
So
would you wear a bandana on stage?
I painted my face. No.
But it looked more like Ronald McDonald and they booed.
I was downstage, right, and I was playing a lead. I was like, fuck these guys. I'm showing them how Ezra can rock in front of these ICP fans. And then out of the peripheral vision, I just saw this thing that looked like this white comet just streaking towards me. And I was playing the lead, and then I looked, and this full wad of toilet paper, just soaking wet, hit me on the side of the face, and it had such momentum. I mean, a roll of toilet paper by
it gets heavy.
doesn't hurt, but wet, it was like a missile of death, and it almost took me out.
Did you stop playing, or did you
I
keep
did
going?
stop playing. That was it.
Wow.
We did not get the ad. For the
Do
radio
you remember
station.
where you were at? Where this was at?
This was Albuquerque.
Albuquerque, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Wow.
Dark place.
So you can go back.
There was a reason they shot Breaking Bad
in that spot. Yeah, I went there.
But I love Albuquerque. I like Santa Fe.
Please have us back. Yes, Santa Fe is beautiful. Albuquerque.
Albuquerque's some bad memories. Do you have any other stories like where you were on stage and like things? Because I remember we played a show in Finland. And it was the longest day in Finland, and we didn't go on stage till like midnight, but it was still daylight outside.
I'll let it mess with your head.
It really messes with your head because you got to remember, it's midnight, and these people have been drinking since 9 o'clock in the morning. So at midnight, normally it's dark and you don't see what they're doing. Now it's bright, and you see like naked people pissing in the bushes, and all they did the entire show was throw shit. But it was like, I think some of it was like, we like you, throwing shit. Like
in the
empty
90s,
bottles.
a way to show your love for a band was to throw shit at them.
Oh yeah.
Even if you were the headliner, you would get shit thrown
Dolls. Well, we were.
at you. The worst that I ever saw was Gin Blossom's End Fest in Seattle. And one of the producers of the festival had made the mistake of saying it would be a great idea to serve lemonade with a half lemon in each cup for everybody. So people were throwing stuff, and Gin Blossoms kind of had their moment, and Korn was the headliner at that
Gin
festival.
Blossoms with Korn.
Well, they were on the other stage. We opened right before Korn. That's a whole other story. But at some point, the singer Robin, I think, from Gin Blossom says,
I love that.
He's getting upset, and he's like, "If you just want to throw stuff, go ahead and get it over with."
Oh my God!
And I mean, it was a yellow wave of.
That's like not Lollapalooza, but Woodstock when back in was it '98, and they did Woodstock, and they had
tried to redo Woodstock.
Yeah, tried to redo Woodstock, and Limp Bizkit had, was it '99? Yeah, '99 Woodstock, and we were there, and it was crazy. It was at this airfield or whatever, and Red Hot Chili Peppers. There was so much angst in there anyway because it was like $20 a water bottle or food. And,
well, the documentary is
bone
chilling.
But like passing out candles at Red Hot Chili Peppers on the last day of the show.
Right.
That's when the riots happened. But yeah, you don't ask the crowd to do shit like that, especially at those big festivals.
You don't encourage the crowd to do anything except applaud. And
Well, let's go deep into the name drops because I was like, okay, God, these guys are legit stars and
it's legit,
and they've had some legit people. I mean, C. Thomas Howell, and you start with Francis Ford Coppola and those kind of names. So I was like, I need to really mine some of my memories. So I got some serious name drops. Where do you want to go? Do you want to start with door number one, actors?
Yes. Let's do that. Let's go to actors. Door number one. Then how many doors do you have?
2.
Actors, music,
actors, musicians,
and
Playboy,
reality stars,
and magicians.
Magicians or musicians?
Magicians.
Oh wow, like David Blaine.
Well, even better.
Carrot Top.
David Copperfield.
No, he's a prop.
But David Copperfield is a great story. But
let's do magicians then.
Okay, well,
we'll start with that.
This story,
David Copperfield.
This is '97. I'm living in New Orleans, and I get this call. This is well, maybe some people had cell phones. Maybe I had that big Nokia, that 9300.
It wasn't what it was.
Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah. So I'm at home in New Orleans, and I get a call on my phone. I don't recognize the number. It's an LA number, and I answer the phone, and it's like he's like, "Hey, it's Sean." It was Sean Penn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and now Sean was a Better Than Ezra fan, and he still does. We talk every once in a while. And he goes, man, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm home in New Orleans. He goes, I'm here in New Orleans. I'm like, well, why are you here? He's like, it's the craziest story. I was just flying over from London, and I got set next to Elle McPherson. Oh, man. And we just hit it up.
They called her the body.
We just hit it off. Everybody knows Elle McPherson. She still looks great. But now she's dating or married to Doyle Bramall, the guitarist. He's a hunk. He's a hunk. So they're beautiful.
It's like a beautiful
But this was long before that. So Sean's like, man, I don't know. We just hit it off. We spent the past week together. But they're opening the Fashion Cafe in the French Quarter in New Orleans. Do you guys remember Fashion Cafe?
Yeah, it was like
their first one
Planet Hollywood type thing. But
for the uninitiated,
they opened their first one. Naomi Campbell.
Yeah. Claudia Schiffer. Christy
Turlington.
Yeah.
Was Chrissy
And
Taylor?
Elle McPherson. Yeah. I think Stephanie Seymour was
Stephanie Seymour? Okay.
was well.
But they opened the original one in Times Square.
Yeah,
I went to
they
it.
did.
Yeah. I was like, this is so cool.
It was that time, Fashion Cafe, Planet Hollywood, Rainforest,
Hard
Rock, yeah. But
Planet Hollywood.
It didn't. Fashion Cafe didn't last very long. It kind of collapsed. But
All-Star Cafe too. There was
All-Star
one.
Cafe.
There was All-Star.
So Sean's calling me. It's a Thursday night, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come hang with me and the supermodels of the '90s?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Absolutely."
Yes. Yeah. Sean Penn and the supermodels.
I went down to the grand opening of Fashion Cafe.
This is a sex story?
Well,
and hopefully it's with Sean Penn, to be honest.
This is like a great story so far.
It should have been.
Okay.
It should have been. It should have been.
Okay.
And so to finish, so I'm talking to Sean. He's like, dude, he goes, actually, this was later when I spoke to him. So I bring my best buddy, a guy named Hugh Hayden, who's
best friends of.
Yeah. We call him America's Guest. Peyton Manning calls him America's Guest. That's the sports people door. So I go down with Hugh, and we're hanging out at Fashion Cafe, and I'm muscling my way up, and I see the red carpet, and everybody's inside Fashion Cafe, and Sean Penn, Elle McPherson, Claudia Schiffer, with David Copperfield.
Oh wow! Okay.
There and Naomi Campbell and Christy Turlington are all back there, and when I'm sitting there watching, and my buddy Hugh's with me, and Hugh is we all have that friend who's we love.
Oh yeah.
But he just loves the limelight.
Yeah.
He has nothing to do with it. He's your guy. You want with him. You know, and you introduce him to your celebrity friends, and they love him instantly.
Yeah.
You know. But I'm standing there, and I lock eyes with Sean Penn, and Sean's like, "Kevin, come on, hang with me," and I was like, "Yes," and I looked at my buddy Hugh, and we're walking up, and I get up to the velvet rope, and they open it for me, and then the security guy does this to my buddy Hugh, and Hugh says, "Can I come in?" And the guy says no, and I was like, "I'm sorry, Hugh." And instantly he was dusted.
Yeah.
He was dusted. I was like, "Goodbye." He's like, "Dude, come on, man.
I'll send help.
Good luck. I'll see you at Tipitinas later."
Bring the car around.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait.
So that began a night hanging with...
What'd you eat there, like cocaine and cigarettes?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's a fashion cafe.
So we hung out there, and then they went to the suite, the presidential suite at the Winter Court Hotel, which is still... There's the Four Seasons on the Winter Court. It's still the place to stay in New Orleans. And I went and met them, and I remember going up the elevator, and Sean had to beat me in, and he met me at the elevator. He's like, "Dude... Elle's a freak, this is crazy." And I think Elle was, he was married to Robin Wright at the time, so he was not being a good boy. But he said this, he's like, "Claudia's here. She's with David Copperfield. My brother Chris Penn, his brother who passed away, is still alive, is here. He's hanging with Naomi, and Christy's free. Christy Turlington."
Oh my God! This is the greatest night of your entire life.
I was like, "Oh my God!" And
we shook hands, right?
Yes. And so I mean, you have to understand, this was a moment where the supermodels of the '90s were the thing. People don't.
They were on my vision board.
Yeah. They were on George Michael's video.
Oh my God!
So I went to the.
By the way,
I went to the suite.
George Michael.
Sorry.
Rest in peace.
I went to the suite, and it was a next level darkness scene. There was a lot of cocaine going on there, and people going to the bathroom, and I ended up hanging out and spending most of the night talking with Christy Turlington. But I could have been that guy, but I was just at some point.
Did she friend zone you?
No, she didn't at all. I think like
you didn't friend zone her.
I'm not going to
Did
say.
you too cool for school? Her?
She was really cool. Could I have been more forward in the moment? Maybe, but I was at some point. I was like, man, the scene that was going on was really kind of dark, and I was like, I wasn't in the party zone phase of my life yet. This is when I was still like cocaine on Tuesday night.
You guys are so weird.
So you went home with.
I say no to drugs.
I say no to drugs.
So you love the drugs. Nope to dope and ugh to drugs.
But, there's something true about the dirty 30s. This was one of my late 20s. When I was like, no.
So did you go home with?
So I was there hanging out with them. I could have pursued them. Who knows what would have happened? I can't.
I know what would have happened.
But at some point, I was like, my buddy Hugh's back at Tips, and he needs me. So I left.
No.
Yeah.
You left.
So you went back
for
to
Hugh.
I left. You were, and that's where you wrote
without hooking up with Christy Turlington. She was super cool. She's a great person.
Now, when
when
you go back to Hugh, is your first thing to look at him and go,
I set it up.
You have no idea how much of a friend I am to you right now.
Did you tell your parents you were gay?
We ended up having a great night.
Like that's crazy. So that's where you were. That's where Desperately Calling came from.
Desperately Wanting was written in New Orleans at the corner of Harmony and Chestnut. This beautiful Queen Anne house built in the 1800s, but it had nothing to do with that. Yeah. But
what did he say to you when you said like I was with Christy Turlington? He's like bullshit.
I did. I think probably at the time I probably told him I made out with her. You do. But truth.
But
that whole scene is a scene that nobody would believe unless you were Kevin Griffin from Better Than Ezra.
It was a crazy scene. It was almost up there with salsa dancing with Salma Hayek.
Oh my God!
Okay, so we're back to the door number one.
So
door number one.
It's 1997 still.
So she's at the pinnacle of her career.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she was just about to hit it, and we were shooting the video. Better Than Ezra was shooting the video for Rosalia. And this is back in the day when with the budgets for videos were nuts.
By the way, Rosalia, do you think that you were on the edge of something when you're like, keep your mask on? Was that like or was that something you knew COVID was coming and you were wearing your mask? Right? Was that like?
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like to think I'm always ahead of the curve.
You were way ahead of the curve.
I like that, in the lyrics they're predicting worldwide pandemics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we shot a video with this guy named Joseph Coltice who had shot the 9 Inch Nails video for Closer. He was the hot guy.
Oh, man.
We spent $500,000.
Yeah.
This was the third single for
$500,000.
$500,000.
Hold my beer.
It was crazy.
How much we used to spend on videos was ridiculous.
You guys were next level.
Ridiculous.
You guys were up here.
Eight Moomin. He's got 8 of them.
What are you?
I'm just saying for videos.
I think it's 9.
9? Oh,
Do
God,
you really?
Yeah.
Maybe I gave you one.
It's going to come to fist. How long have you guys known each other?
23, 24 years.
That's awesome.
Hey, truth be told, though, I did go into my son's career day a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And I brought a Moon Man so the kids could see. Now, my son's in kindergarten, so all the kids were so impressed that I was an astronaut. Really? Did you go to the moon? I'm like, what? Oh, my God, no.
Oh, God.
I was in this band.
Kids. They didn't even know what MTV was.
Kids these days.
I love ridiculousness. No. MTV.
But so we spent $500,000 on a video that the Sylvia Rhone, the president of Elektra at the time, said, "I don't like it. Do it again." And
after $500,000,
after $500,000. So we were given a new treatment by a guy named Frank Ockenfels who had shot our first video. Well, he shot the Desperate in the Blood video.
Okay.
And a famous still photographer, iconic portraits for covers of Rolling Stone and stuff. So we went out to LA. And before we were doing it, the producer, this woman, she was from New Zealand. She called me up. She said, Kevin, I think there's a perfect person to play Rosalia. And she's unknown, but she's a new actress. She's in the new Robert Rodriguez film Desperado. She's just huge,
great story.
And this is right when she was filming Dusk Till Dawn, which was such a glorious piece of film.
She's so hot. She was my crush. She was my crush forever.
And he goes, I think she'd be great for Rosalia. And then we were sent we were sent some type of link even then you could, on your dial-up AOL. And we saw clips from Desperado, and we're like, yes. Oh. Yes. So we were all excited. Everybody in the band was excited. We're going to get to hang out and make a video. But we found out that we were shooting our part of the video in one part of LA.
She was somewhere else.
Wait. So this has never happened?
So we weren't together.
Okay.
Fast forward to the rap party. We had a rap party. Rap party is when you finished a project and you have a party to say we're wrapping it up. You guys got to have on Smart List. They always tell what's the woman in Wisconsin. They always say represents the person who doesn't know the lingo
woman
of the business.
No,
I think her name is.
Doesn't help us.
I think
woman of a certain age.
Teresa in Wisconsin.
Teresa. Okay.
Where's your computer?
So we explain it.
Okay.
Why don't we? You guys can say Chuck and Antioch.
Chuck and Antioch.
Chuck and Antioch.
Yeah, that's in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I know Chuck.
But so we had a rap party at the Ivy on Robertson. You guys know Ivy on Robertson.
It's the place you go. That's the place you go when you want to be seen.
Yeah. It's a total she place, but they do have legit food. The chopped vegetable salad is on point. It's great. Yeah. And so we were at this long table, and Selma was with us, and we were all just kind of gaga at Selma, and we were drinking those Ivy gimlets, which were those great vodka gimlets, and it was a great day. So we finished the dinner, and everyone's drinking, and everyone gets up to leave. And at some point at the end of the table, Selma was like, well, does anybody want to go out? And everybody was just getting up, and I was having my drink.
You went back and hung out with everybody,
and I was drinking my drink. And she goes, I know a great place, Los Globos. I'll never forget. She goes, Los Globos, which is the balloons, I think, in Spanish. Forgive me if I'm butchering that translation. She goes, there's a great place to go salsa dancing. If anyone, I can teach you to salsa dance. Everybody got up, and I went, I will. So Salma Hayek and I went and salsa danced in not East Los Angeles. It's Silver Lake. It's right at Silver Lake Boulevard and Sunset. And then we hung out.
Now, did the rest of the band go back and tell their friends they made out with her at the table?
No. Did you guys make it? Did you make out with her?
We had a good time.
Oh, I love it. You're such a gentleman.
No Christy Turlington, but we had a good time. Fast forward 2 years later, I'm at this VH1 party. Isn't it fun to think about all those times?
Oh, my God.
And it's such a distant thing that means nothing.
It's another life almost.
But it was in New York, and it was for some movie or something, and I was there with the band. And Selma was there, and we were talking, and she was like, Kevin, how you been? I'm like, great, it's good to see you, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, paparazzi or something, or the red carpet came by, and they grabbed her, and she instantly just turned away from me. I was like, Selma, come back, please. Never saw her again.
Superstar,
never saw her again.
But you will always have
she remembered. That's the best part, is she
remembered.
Yeah. 2 years at a VH1 party. I wouldn't have said hi to him.
Dude,
it was great. So that's kind of my actor thing. You know? That's the actors, and then there's always been, you always get fans of the band over the years. Pierce Brosnan.
Dude, Pierce Brosnan was a big fan.
Pierce Brosnan is a big Ezra fan.
Who else?
I did my makeup with him.
Besides for me and Brian.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott?
Oh, you do an impression of him.
Charlie's. That's the dude.
That's good. That's good.
Now, Brian.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Chris. You need to abide.
Isn't Sam Elliott?
You got to do.
Sam Elliott's the guy that looks like he was like 50, like in 78.
He always did.
And now he's still doing stuff.
The same.
Like,
he's in his 70s, and my wife, every woman I know thinks he's such a stud. He has that thing. Some men, some women, some people just have this timeless quality.
I was doing a show in Portland, Oregon, like 6-7 years ago, and I got nominated for it was like best dressed or most fashionably male host. Or male personality on TV or something like that for that. Right. He was doing a show there or a movie there or something, and he was nominated as well, and I beat Sam Elliott.
For best dressed TV host?
Yeah, best dressed.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I mean,
you beat Sam Elliott for best MTV VJ. That was amazing.
But no, it was not. It was
How did you do that?
Sam
Chris,
Elliott always
you had Moon Man, I have one award, and that was it. And it's like it's blue, and it says 2017 best. I don't know. Can you pull that up?
You know what? You should start your own band called Better Than Sam.
Better Than Sam. And Sam always wears what we call it a Tennessee tuxedo. It's head to toe.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's again like, and you look at him now, and he looks like he did 40 years ago. And I watch movies. He was in the one with Lady Gaga. The Lady Gaga French. The remake.
Stars Born.
Stars Born.
Yeah.
He was in
the dad or
and I
something,
saw him and I was like, oh, that's crazy that there's a new actor now that reminds me of Sam Elliott doing the parts that Sam Elliott would normally do.
He looks the same as he did in Big Lebowski and everything he's ever been in.
He's got to be in his mid-70s now, right?
I think mid-late.
Mid-70s?
Producer, quick!
Okay. No, I was thinking, that's an incredible story. How many more of those impressions do you have? You're just going to keep throwing them out there.
Sam Elliott will be 80 this year, Jim.
80 years old. Wow.
80 years old.
Golly.
Wow. That
Still looks like he's in his 60s.
So we're at door number 1. We have Salma Hayek. We already did Sean Penn. Mm-hmm. Let's go to another one. Let's go to
sports.
Sports is always
so like this as being a musician.
Mm-hmm. We want to be sports.
We want to be sports.
To be
sports
music.
people want to be musicians. So there's a real kind of closeness between the music world and the sports world. There's a mutual admiration society, and ours kind of started really early on. Being in New Orleans in the mid '90s, the Manning brothers.
Oh yeah,
are all from there.
Yeah.
And so I lived at 1428th, and the Mannings, Archie Manning, Hall of Fame quarterback, the father of the 3 boys, Cooper and Eli and Peyton.
I like that you put Cooper first. Too.
Yeah, well, Cooper's the firstborn, and I was just hanging with Cooper.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper?
Hanging with Mr. Cooper. At the Soho House. Now we completely changed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now look at this. Now it's getting weird. Now it's getting weird.
We name dropped the
Everybody's just swiping off. Everybody's just muting right now.
It's so bougie.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I lived. It started off. I had the same street address as the Mannings, but they were 3 streets away from me in the Garden District. So I would always get their mail, and for some reason, I would walk it down, and Archie would open the door, and then Cooper and the boys would open the door, and they ended up becoming Better Than Ezra fans. That was when we were playing frats and college bars at Tulane and
What kind of mail? Did you get like Playboy subscriptions?
Yeah, stuff like that. Columbia House. That was
CDs. Having that $30 CD because you didn't say no.
Well, this was back in, Archie Manning was a huge Metallica fan. Big, lot of...
Really? Archie was Metallica?
No.
He's just lying.
I'm just riffing.
I really felt for that one. I was like, my mom loved Alice Cooper, so
all these stories. The only story I believe is when he got hit in the face with a wad of toilet paper.
At the ICP. They're all true.
He's going back in the car going, how about that one I made up? Was that hilarious?
Name drop
Salma Hayek. I said Salma Hayek.
I didn't make out with Salma Hayek. I don't even know her.
Well, I was truthful. I could have said I did with Christy Turlington. But
I would have said
yeah. I regret it.
I think you should have.
No.
I regret it. Or even trying.
But so you're with the Manning brothers.
So we've become friends. So early days, from the '90s on, they would always show up at our shows. Like when we would play at Tipitina's, this iconic venue at the corner of Napoleon and Tchoupitoulas, uptown New Orleans. We would always have a tiki bar on stage. We traveled with a tiki bar.
Nice.
And the Manning brothers would always man the bar. Later, when Peyton was having his golden years in Indianapolis, and later Denver, he would always show up. So in Indianapolis, especially at this bar called a theater called the Vogue Theater, he would always be there with his line and stuff, and we'd hang out, and we played in New York. Eli would come, and we have a song called "This Time of Year" off our first record. It says that there's a football in the air across a leaf-blown field, and they would come out and throw the football. So we've just had this relationship with the Mannings, and then being New Orleans, it's a real small pond, and everyone really kind of supports each other, and then getting to know Mickey Loomis, GM of the Saints, and then Ricky Williams. Sean
Mike
Payton,
Ditka?
Mike Shayton. Sean Payton's a really good friend. I never got to know Mike.
Are you a Broncos fan now because of him?
Yeah, I am. Sean and I married Sean.
You guys are together now.
2 years ago.
Congrats, man.
I'm a celebrant.
That explains the whole Christy Turlington story.
Listen, man, whatever it takes to get it done, man.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever it takes to get ahead. You want me to do that? Okay. All right. But I became 4 years ago sitting in a middle seat of a Southwest flight. on the tarmac in Cancun. We were delayed, and my wife was telling me something about how she has married different friends and what a cool experience it was. And I was like, well, how did you become a minister? And she said, go on universallifechurch.org and become a minister. And so on that middle seat, I became a minister. And
No way.
it was free. I could have spent $50 to get my vestments and my certificate.
Dude, if I get
Or
married,
you could have
you
spent
wanna do-
$50
So
and
let's make a promise right now. If I ever get married,
So
not gonna get
my
married.
first marriage was 2 years ago. I went. Sean had a big to-do wedding down in Cabo, but they have to make it legal in the States. So up in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, on the lake, I married Sean. My first wedding, first marriage I'd ever done, and it's this place where all these retired greats go. Wayne Gretzky.
wow,
John Elway,
yeah.
and all these hockey guys that I don't know.
But you married Sean Penn.
So they were all gathered there, and I had to come up with a celebrant speech and marry Skylene and Sean. And,
That is a great story.
So since then, I've married all these different friends. I'm supposed to marry Uncle Cracker at the end of the.
Oh, that's great.
No way.
Love that. That's
and
awesome.
it's the coolest thing. If it sounds the least bit interesting, go on Universal Life Church. You're legal in 50 states, and to marry your friends or my nephew and his wife, it's the coolest thing. And you get asked to go all over the world. I did it in Tuscany.
It's kind of like having a pickup truck. Once you have that, everybody needs you to
wants
move.
you.
They
Everybody
need you
needs
to
you.
marry
I'll
them.
be
That's
honest
perfect.
with you. I just got engaged, and we've been trying to figure out
You
who's going to.
you are not engaged.
I
You're,
will-
You're barely keeping a steady girlfriend.
I'm probably going to get engaged.
it's a big difference.
Yeah.
brother.
Wait, what?
I mean, like not
From probably going to get to engage.
Well, no, not now. I mean, like hopefully
Not
in
with
the
the
future.
girl you're dating now.
No, just like in the future, like
I want
future.
that pink. Where did you get the pink and TV hat? That's a rat.
Online.
Can you get it?
Yeah, yeah.
Shit, I'll take that. But wait. So,
You marry
Sean,
me, I'll give you this
Oh,
hat.
dude, I'm in.
Give me the one on my head.
It's great, but
extra
getting
small.
to know them, because there's a great Ricky Williams story. So in 2010, the Saints were going to the Super Bowl, and we were playing the Colts. Peyton Manning.
Woman of certain age knows she's the biggest Peyton Manning fan.
Okay,
ever.
so you know.
She went to UT.
That's great. Vols. So we get asked by the Saints to play the victory party, or to come down with the team to Miami for the game. And we get asked. We go down there, and we get to ride on the team buses to and from the game. So I'm
You and Drew Brees are.
so I'm in a bus.
so
I know this.
I'm in a bus with Drew Brees, Jim is it Carville? Who's Carville, the big political guy? James Carville.
James Carville.
The bald guy.
Yeah.
The Archbishop of New Orleans, Ricky Williams, and he was dating Kim Kardashian.
Wow.
She
Oh,
was,
yeah.
and
Smoking weed.
and her mom.
He was
All in
dating
the
her
same
mom
bus.
too.
All on the same bus.
All in the same bus, going to the Super Bowl.
No
And it
way.
felt like that, like James Carville, the Archbishop of New Orleans, and Ricky Williams on a bus. It sounds like the setup to a joke, but it was. We won the game, and we ended up coming back, and we played the victory party, and Kenny Chesney played too, and it was a special moment to be. You had these. We get to have these great moments where you're like, I can't believe that. I love my career. The night of the Super Bowl, being able to hold the Lombardi Trophy with Coach Peyton while champagne's shooting over your head. It was pretty awesome.
No, that was right around the hurricane, right? That was the
was that- was that year,
Katrina.
wasn't
Katrina was 2005, and I was living in.
And that was the big
Katrina
deal.
just,
That,
no, she doesn't get a bell. No, she's
No,
evil.
she's not
evil.
She's not getting.
But that was the big deal because
Yeah.
what had happened to the Superdome with people living
in
there, and it was just like falling apart from all that stuff, to a couple years later winning the Super Bowl was a big freaking deal. I'm sure being around that had to be.
It was crazy to be there. And to live through it, and to go back to when they reopened the Superdome, and U2 and Green Day did "The Saints Are Coming" to open the
I got it. You too, Green Day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
to reopen the Superdome, and then we won that game against Atlanta. Steve Gleason, who has ALS now, blocked that famous punt,
Yep.
and that was iconic. And then to have that storybook season was pretty great. It was good
Drew
times.
Brees. What a stud. Are you friends with him?
I am.
Do you have him on your phone?
Do I have Drew?
Who do you have in your
I don't
phone?
think I have Drew.
Who's
I
like?
can imagine your phone
bet it's
probably
like
has
just
some
everybody.
Nothing like you.
But do you put people in by their names, or do you put them by
I
what you?
sometimes put in just it'll say like we were talking about Adam Duritz before. I'll put Adam D.
Adam D.
Yeah.
I put Smiley in for him.
It's weird. I put Brian D in mine.
Brian D.
Brian Big D or what is
Wait,
it?
you call me Brian Big D?
Brian Big,
Big
D.
boy. Big boy. Big D.
No, I don't. Do
Humongous D.
Brian Huge D.
You're so nice. Oh, you were peeking.
We're talking about
Huge
your
D.
dignity. We're talking about your dignity.
Yeah, my heart.
Your dignity.
Your
Your
dignity.
heart.
in
My
it.
heart. So I have to tell you this. This is something that you got me through a breakup.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
voice didn't, but your words did.
Yes.
How we
tell
did
me.
collide.
Oh yes.
Oh my God, I love that song. You
He
wrote
actually
that
was.
song.
He
I
was
did.
crying.
I was playing it.
He was playing it earlier.
I was
and he
dating-
was crying.
I dated this girl
again.
Taylor. We broke up, and I was like, for some reason,
Taylor
Swift. I know Dane. That's what I asked. I was
Taylor Bisciotti.
Bisciotti. Great singer. Career didn't go anywhere.
No.
she's NFL
Canadian.
Network.
No, she was a
So we were
waitress
dating,
and
and I was
amazing.
so sad. But I would listen to all these sad songs, like going to work, and How We Day got me through it. And I was just like, I didn't even know you wrote that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Do
God.
ya?
Thanks, man.
Well,
Yeah,
dude.
We were listening to it earlier today, and Chris is like, "Don't cry," and I'm like, "I'm good. I got this."
Okay. Yeah, that song was that was an example of that song was written right before Katrina hit. I had this really cool studio that Trombone Shorty now owns down in the Lower Garden District. This.
I know it's
This is like
awkward.
a, it's
the
like
way
a
you're
penis
holding
bell.
it.
Sometimes I forget to ding, and
Yeah.
he hits it for me.
Penis.
He's the big ding.
if you
That's
rub,
why he's in my
what
phone.
happens if you
Brian
rub
Ding.
the bell?
That's Big D.
He calls me Scoops.
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 Yeah, his scoops. Wait do you hear him sing?
Oh,
that's
dude,
why I
it's
call
bad.
him
Are
Scoops.
Are you a good singer?
Well, no, you'll
No,
see.
that's why I
You'll
call him
find out.
Scoops.
We at the end of the show, we do like a little. We try
Yeah, at the end we'll get you just.
Are we doing acapella?
It's just
Yeah.
two
Are we doing
notes.
some
It's,
moves?
it's real
probably-
easy, but
it's gonna.
we
I'm
do
in a
some
different
dance
range
moves.
than you guys.
No,
So, I'm
you
in
are
no range.
in no range.
I'm in no range. But I do have a pitch pipe, and I'm practicing.
You can't practice
baby
pitch.
steps. Baby steps.
You really
Yeah.
do have a pitch pipe.
He
Yeah, I
does.
do. I'm not kidding you.
He does. He's given me like 3. I think there's one in my truck.
You probably thought it was
He
my skull,
collects.
but it's not.
Are yours in?
It's
Your Zen pouches.
I mean, this is.
My Zen.
Wait, I can't even get it.
You don't suck the pitch pipe. You
Oh,
blow.
he sucks. Wait till he plays it. Wait till he plays it.
Dude, I'm so glad it's not our birthday.
That's amazing. We got to
Back
just
to our
have start.
friendship.
Let's
We gotta
start
have parties together.
Let's start a supper club right now.
You know what we
on
should
our
do?
birthday.
We should celebrate our birthday at your festival. It's coming up.
Why don't you
Pilgrimage
guys? Why don't you
Festival.
guys? Let's record some name drops at Pilgrimage Festival this year.
We would love to do that.
Let's do that.
I'm gonna say
Let's
yes.
set you guys up. This is our
Can we
person.
do that?
She is pressed, not only for
We'll
me
bring,
personally.
we'll bring one of the silver bullet trailers in that back area
Well,
where
we
you have
we
them.
have a deal with Airstream. We get
Yeah.
between us, they hook
Yeah.
us up. So have you guys there?
We would love
I mean, we've
that.
got
Yeah.
Dave Matthews, we got
So,
Noah Khan, we got Hosier.
Better Than Ezra.
We got Better Than
yeah,
Ezra's
you guys
one of the
are planned.
bands. But there's Lucas Nelson.
Lucas Nelson's Promise of the Real.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on a
Or
second.
just
I
Lucas
do-
Nelson.
Are you not aware that the Pilgrimage lineup was announced yesterday?
I did, and I saw it, but I didn't.
But that's
I,
our connection
I look at
too
The, I
with
look at the
JT.
main.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do.
Well, I've been
name
to the
drop.
pilgrimage. I've been there.
Hold on,
I
I'm trying to
think
get
since
this on
the first
record.
year.
You probably
Name drop at Pilgrimage
Yeah,
Festival.
we got that.
Brian McFayden, Chris Kirkpatrick, and
But
Kevin.
usually pilgrimage falls on such a weird time for me that it's like my busy schedule and I'm out doing
It's our
all
birthday.
these crazy
We're doing
shows.
September. It's September 28th and 29th.
29th.
It's right around our birthday.
Our birthday.
This is
I know.
October 1st.
And what I usually
I get
do is
it.
pilgrimage is such a
I'm a Libra too. I understand.
October 17th.
the Libras are best, man.
Yeah, we're the greatest
We are the
people in the
best.
world in the history of ever.
and the most modest.
We like.
Oh,
the-
God,
that's
we're
what
so
most people
awesomely
always,
modest.
Like most people always say, like how modest I am.
I have a huge modest
Humility.
ability. Yeah, it's very.
It's somewhere in me.
Yeah, but no, the Pilgrimage Festival.
Pilgrimage Festival.
I was there day one, and been back a bunch of times. But of course, like I said, it's usually around times I'm busy. But man, it's fun. It's such
it's
a
really
great
cool.
concept. Justin's involved, right?
Justin's involved. So year
It's just Justin Timberlake.
year 4,
yeah.
year 3 or 4. I
So
think.
year 3, I had the idea in 2013, and we had the first one in 15 and 16, and then somewhere around 16, I was having lunch. I was managing this artist, a kid named Nawaz. who should be huge. But at the time, Trace Ayala and Joe Fisher were working for Villa 40. I think that was the name of one of JT's companies, and they were interested in managing him or doing a label deal with him. And so I met him for lunch over at Pinewood Social, which is still great. Yeah. And we're just broing down with Trace, and at some point I was like, you should come to Pilgrimage Festival. And Trace was like, I've been there before. And I was like, well, let's have JT play it. And that was how the conversation started. And then I've known Rick Yorn for years.
Who I just saw.
Did you? Because Pete Yorn used to play Better Than Ezra. Pete Yorn used to play with Better Than Ezra, and then I got to know Rick back in the day, and so that's how that started. But then we, the coup of getting Justin Timberlake to play the festival in 2017.
You're like, we'll make you part of it if you come out. And
you come out, and we pay you a third of what you normally get. And somehow it worked.
Did it. And you had Stapleton.
Oh my God,
that was a great show.
Yeah, Stapleton. What you hope with, if people don't know, Pilgrimage Festival is a festival in Franklin, Tennessee. You can go to pilgrimagefestival.com to check it out. This year we got Dave Matthews, Hosier, Noah Kahn, Need to Breathe, Better Than Ezra, Lucas Nelson, Allison Russell, a lot of great people. And so we have it every year, and it's pretty amazing.
And it's becoming bigger and bigger. Like it's like every year
we're celebrating our 10th year, which is nuts.
It's here in Nashville.
It's in Franklin, Tennessee. It's 17 miles south from where we are right now.
What's great about that is like this is becoming your Lollapalooza. Like Lollapalooza in Chicago, it's the Pilgrimage.
Well, we kind of pitched it as it was a novel idea when we came up with it, but it's become kind of more a commonplace now. Is a festival that's smaller by design. I hate using the word boutique because it's so overused, but it's kind of a more refined festival experience. Like if you went to Bonnaroo or ACL or Lolla and you partied, now you got kids, you got a little more means, you want a more refined experience. You want to bring your kids if you can, but you want it to still be cool. And we found that family friendly and cool music aren't mutually exclusive. We could do the same thing in one place, just like Bottle Rock does in Napa and stuff.
But you still have the big stages where you can get the big act.
The drugs,
and when you see it though,
I'm kidding. That's just a joke.
When you see it, it is
like quality drugs.
You look.
I'll have Mayor Moore from Franklin will call me up, Kevin.
The good stuff.
You said drugs will be.
I think I smelled the pot.
I smelled a marijuana.
But you do see even on the big stage, in the back,
it is
the blankets with the kids, the families, going
really
to see it. And there's a lot of cool little side stages and small stages where you get a lot of local artists and people to pop up. And one of my favorites was we went to and saw Counting Crows, and right before we got rained out.
Oh no!
That rained out year, we got stuck in the RV with Trace. And my I think he was 2 or 3 at the time.
Little
Nashie got stuck.
You know who I'm excited? There's always people ask me who I'm like, who are you excited to see that maybe people don't know? There's a guy named Lamont Landers. Have you heard of this kid?
Lamont. She was named after Lamont.
It's Lamont Landers. He is this white soul singer that is so authentic and cool, and he is blown up on TikTok and stuff, but he is legit. And he's going to be in our AMTE tent. It's our Americana music tent where we kind of focus new and upcoming artists, but also, maybe somebody who's Southern gospel or hobnail, square dance dancers from Appalachians, weird stuff. And Lamont Landers is going to be there.
Oh, yeah, I know. I've seen those square dancers from Appalachia. Out this kid.
His Instagrams and stuff are through the roof.
It's kind of by the kids' play area type thing.
It's really cool. It feels like you've gone back some old revival on the roadside.
You're being very humble right now because you just announced that Better Than Ezra has a new album.
Better Than Ezra
in May. It drops in May.
It drops in May. It's going to.
The
wait is over. The wait is over. Yeah. So that's coming out. Yeah, man, I got the anniversary of April 25th will be the anniversary of my first book that I put out a year ago, and it was so I'm going out and doing a book tour for that, celebrating that, and it's
good. So you got this new album coming? Are you guys going to go out on tour again? Or?
Yeah, so Ezra goes out all of May.
All of May.
You can go to betterthanezra.com to get dates and stuff. And
how different do you think touring's going to be this time around?
We toured a lot last year. We did a tour with Train, and we were doing amphitheaters all over the place.
Pat Monahan.
Pat's voice is,
voice is unreal.
I've written a lot with him, and he's got that kind of voice that inspires you to write great songs. Yeah. And he can take a mediocre song and just turn it great. Yeah. And so we toured a lot last year. This will be like our own theater tour. Playing places, I don't know, just like 2,000.
Was that song about his mom? What's that song? Jupiter? Drops of Jupiter?
Drops of Jupiter?
Yeah, the song was about his mom.
Tell me.
Yeah, such a beautiful song.
He hits it so effortless.
His voice is annoyingly good.
Well, he did a Led Zeppelin. They did a Led Zeppelin cover album.
They did a whole cover album, and they did 2 shows at the Troubadour in Los Angeles.
Did you just drive by?
We're dinging Los Angeles.
Dude, we've been touching ourselves quite a bit. I'm not sure how the camelers are. Are you getting anything down there?
You can't see it at all because it just looks like you're tickling the bean.
Yeah.
I love it.
You sound like my dirty uncle.
I am your dirty uncle.
You are. The bean. Now, our bass player calls that diddling the bean.
Diddling the bean. Diddling the bean.
Even creepier.
So was last year the first time out in a while? Or
No. Ezra,
so you guys have kind of still...
We've never gone away. We've always played shows. We've always toured, and we've had such great fans. But this will be our first full-length album in 10 years, which is crazy. To think
to play new music
to play a whole album of new music.
What's the first single?
Well, the first single was a song called "Mystified" that did great for us, and the new single is called "Live a Little," and it was written with this guy named Chaz Cardigan and myself. And it's just a banger. It's an up-tempo, seize the day, carpe diem kind of banger.
I like that. If you were going to write a song about Chris and I and your experience on the Name Drop show, how would it go? It would be the beginning's like we share a birthday.
Scoops.
It's like October 1st.
It'd be a smooth jam.
Oh yeah, it'd definitely be a smooth jam.
Like a love making song.
Yeah, love making.
It would probably be flat. In the key of B flat.
It'd be like, need ya, my Libra, something like that.
Yeah, I like it,
dude. I love that. You hear that, Taylor?
That's gonna be our new theme song.
They're like the Three Amigos.
Three Amigos. Oh, I like that. That's what we'll call it.
Three Amigos.
Three Amigos.
They're like the Three Amigos. They're Libras. Nijas.
Nijas.
I don't know. Well, we're just sketching it out right now.
It's Nashville. We can get it. We'll have it done by lunch.
There is this. Have you guys been on this new AI site called Suno.ai?
No.
Is that where it takes your voice or the song and writes it itself?
Yeah. So I could say, like right now, I could get
Brian to sing.
Phone. I could grab my phone, go to this app, and say, "Hey Suno, write a song about Chris, Kevin, and Brian all being Libras. They get lost on a dark gravel road at night, and they wake up and fall in love."
Yeah.
And then it'll.
Wait
That's
a
the
second.
sound. That's the sound of a computer working.
The name of the song is called "My Friends Are Gay."
No, maybe it's called About Last Night.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Wait, where's my phone?
Wait, where's?
Right there.
It's worth it. And we can. You guys edit this stuff.
Yeah. We can edit.
It will write a song. You can say indie. Let's do this real quick. Let's do it real quick. This is great. Just gonna do this.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
so I started with the Chat GPT and the pictures and all that stuff. AI, it's still kind of a lot. It needs to work a lot out, but man, it's got some stuff.
This is pretty amazing. Let's see. Let's create. Song.
So you're telling us the new Better Than Ezra song is AI?
All AI.
I wrote a song online. I was like, hey, I did this live on Instagram. I was like, hey, write a song, indie pop, acoustic, make it feel young and edgy about going to see Kevin Griffin for the first time and falling in love. And it's a song called "Falling for Griffin."
No.
And within 30 seconds, and I played, and I said, "Should I release this as my next single?" And more people said yes.
No way.
Okay, we're gonna create. Let's see, create.
That's like the biggest fear is AI is going to replace all of us, especially
It is going
radio,
to.
television.
You know what?
We're putting stuff into contracts now.
that you can't.
If we were possibly doing anything, you have to put stuff in the contracts about.
We're gonna. I don't want to waste precious
AI.
airtime while I'm.
Are you guys
signing
possibly
on.
doing anything?
what I'm
Possibly.
You
signing
can't
in on
really
this.
answer that question anymore.
No.
You've been asked.
Okay. Hey, do you want to hear my Peyton Manning story?
Yes, I do.
I have a good
So
Peyton
you have a
Manning
Peyton
story.
Manning story. But we'll
It's
do
not,
this.
it's
We'll
not
come
quite
back.
as good as yours, but it was Justin and I. Well, the whole band was at a bowling thing for Reggie Miller.
Okay.
So it was in Indiana, and we're going to this bowling thing, and Peyton had just got drafted by the Colts. So Peyton's at the Colts. Peyton
Wait,
comes,
hang on. Wait, Reggie Miller. I'm
Peyton,
sorry.
Peyton comes to this bowling thing, and we're sitting there, and Justin and I look over, and we're like, oh my God, that's Peyton Manning. And I know Justin was a big Vols fan. I was Penn State, but he was Vols. And I'm like, dude, he's like, let's go meet him. I'm like, you want to go meet him? And back then, we didn't care. We were like, screw it. Let's just go.
You guys were in the height of your career.
No.
It was 98?
We were nobodies.
You were
yet.
nobodies?
No, we
98?
were still.
You're still coming. You were coming up.
We were
98.
still coming up.
Yeah,
but,
you're coming up.
So nobody really knew us. We got invited, but nobody knew us. And we walked over to Peyton Manning, and we're both like, oh my God, Peyton Manning. Hey, I'm Chris. This is Justin. We're huge fans. Justin's a big Vols fan. We're glad you're here with the Colts. We're looking forward to it. He's like, yeah, all right. Nice to meet you guys. And walks away. Me and Justin are like, oh my God. We got to meet Peyton Manning. That's the greatest. Fast forward to 2005. I'm at the Super Bowl. It was the Steelers and the Seahawks. So I'm at this party. And I look over, and there's Peyton Manning. I'm like, oh man, I'm with my uncle. And I'm like, Uncle Jay, I got to meet Peyton Manning before. You wouldn't believe it. Me and Justin, like years ago, got to meet him at this event. And suddenly Peyton looks over, and he looks at me, and he goes, and points at me, and I'm like, oh shit, he's coming over. He's coming over. And he starts walking over. He goes, hey man, Chris, I owe you a big apology. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Peyton Manning? You don't owe me any apology. He goes, man, I remember meeting you and Justin at that bowling alley. I thought y'all were ball boys.
But
That's a good story.
That's Peyton, man. His memory is ironclad.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Okay, what do we call?
Well, the greatest part about that, though, is he tells the story now, and I kind of get left out a little bit. Because now it's him and Timberlake. It's like, oh, I remember Timberlake. And I'm like, hey, Chris. In Friends.
What do we? Let's see. Okay, real quick. Write a song that's a slow jam, sexy acoustic ballad, minimal instrumentation about Chris, Brian, and Kevin sharing a bottle of wine on a long night. It's called About Last Night. Okay,
I'm already getting turned on. Is that
creating.
weird?
You got to chub.
Is that weird? I'm thinking about Sean Penn, too.
So we're letting.
Couldn't we added Sean Penn in there somewhere?
Our new sponsor for Name Drop is Jergens Lotion.
Jergens Lotion. There's been a lot of masturbation themes.
Yeah.
That's all we do.
Welcome to our life. That's all we do. I'm married, he's single. What are you going to do? That's what we always do.
Oh, shit. Okay, the name of our song is Bottles and Memories.
Oh,
Bottles
come
and
on.
Memories?
Yeah, it's still rendering. Let's
Bottles and Memories is the name of our
see.
song.
Acoustic slow jam, minimal. Okay,
Minimal.
wait, let's see.
Oh, minimal.
Bottles and Memories.
Instrumentation.
Bottles and Memories. This is
See,
the
but
moment, guys.
You kind of
This is-
have to know music a little bit to make it really work. Like somebody's just like, hey, write a
wait.
song about my butt. It's
Wait.
like, you really?
What our band, our group's gonna be called Trace Libras.
Trace Libras.
Trace Libras.
Bottle of wine,
Oh, so this is our song.
Oh, we gotta
Okay.
put the microphone in it.
laughter,
Wait. We gotta go.
time.
We gotta.
Just a simple night, but it feels so divine.
This is ridiculous.
It brings back memories, stories and dreams. The way the wine flows like a slow-moving stream. Talk about our past, the highs and the lows, the love we've lost, the love we've all.
Brian's gonna cry.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Oh shit!
Take it to the chorus.
Where's my chorus?
Whose voice? That's an AI voice?
Brian and Kevin sitting around sharing a bottle of wine.
You doubter.
This is the greatest.
Wait, hold on. We're starting this from the beginning.
It goes
Hold on.
Brian,
Because somebody was
Kevin.
talking.
Yeah.
I want to apologize.
Both of us.
Brian and that's
Simple night
Wait.
feels so crisp. Brian and Kevin sitting around sharing a bottle of wine. Yeah, lost in the moment, the laughter and the time. Just a simple night, but it feels so divine.
It's the best.
Each sip brings back memories, stories, and dreams.
It's gotta be good chorus.
Where the wine flows like a slow-moving stream.
I would kill myself. If this doesn't go somewhere, I'm going to kill myself.
I love this song.
Monta's crying.
Where's the chorus?
We've lost the love.
It's technology. It's not perfect yet.
We need an up tempo.
But the beginning. But the
Memories.
beginning.
Chris, Kevin, and Brian
What I love about it is
sitting around.
I've always wanted to write a song with you.
Chris.
It's like best friend songs. But now we have a new best friend, Kevin
Chris.
Michael Griffin.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest with you, like you're one of the best songwriters ever out there. You got me through a breakup.
That
and
means so
to sit
much
here
to me.
in the middle seat talking to you on Name Drop with my best friend.
I wrote a couple good songs.
Yeah, you have.
Which
They were on the European album, but I wrote a couple good songs.
What you want?
That's kind of
you
my-
want to
we got
share?
a song
That's
that
sad.
we have a testament, we have a document that is timeless, that captures this moment when we were on Name Drop.
Name drop.
That's pretty special.
You know what? Let's top it off by singing
Name Drop?
Name Drop.
Hang on.
Name. Oh, that's low. Name drop. It's just name drop. No, scoops.
Scoops.
Name
Call me Scoops.
drop.
I can't sing.
Name drop.
Name Drop.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I got. Ready?
Name Drop.
1, 2, 3. Name drop. Ooh, what a bass.
I got chills. Was that okay?
We came up
Yeah.
with the,
All right.
we came up one night. We were just in our dressing room. You know the stupid shit you do in your dressing room. We were like, let's come up with the. We were pissed off that Duncan Sheik who wrote Barely
I
Breathing.
am barely breathing.
Had wrote Spring Awakening and was all these Tonys. We're like, why can't we write a fucking jukebox musical? Let's come up with the worst idea for a jukebox musical ever. And what we came up with was a doo-wop 90s musical, and it's just some old guy sitting around a barrel and it's fire. It's like it's streets of Philly. And
Kinda like Huey Lewis in the News?
They're all sitting around warming their hands, you know, and they're like, man, 90s were a good time. Yeah, man. 90s were a good time. Man, what was that band they from Seattle? Had that guy, Kurt Cobain. When the lights down, it's less dangerous. Here we are now. It's up to... And that's how it started.
Yes.
An hour later, we
Oh
were just
my
getting drunker,
God.
drunker. And then
Oh my God.
yeah, that was a great song. Then there was that band, man, Chris Cornell, Sad Story.
yeah,
Man.
Sound
What
Guy.
was that song they had? Bomba bomba danga dang dang dinga dong dong doonga dong dong doonga dong black hole sun dip 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 sun goes sun.
Yeah, man. How would you do like a boy band doo-wop?
There already
know.
is.
There
There's
already is.
There already. I mean, they have that band Juliet, which is.
Black hole sun.
Now, are you still you in the band? Like, is it like brothers? Like, you guys
It
still?
is.
It's tough to not hate each other, right?
And the fact that all you guys are together, man, and doing it, I don't need to tell you, it is like a sexless marriage.
Yeah,
you know.
it's-
Well, there were times, you know, when it got lonely on the bus.
But that's tough. But it's tough to go that many years and nobody go. You know what? This isn't working. You know,
Yeah.
I've got my thing. I got the pilgrimage. I got these other things. You guys go do you.
Are you guys like us? Like we all like our separate time, but we'll
Yeah.
have a day off on the road, and we end up calling each other. Hey,
Yeah.
you want to go see? Let's go
Yeah.
see Oppenheimer.
One of the
Or you
coolest.
pair off and
Yeah, you
like,
pair
hey,
off.
yeah.
There's usually we found is that the rhythm section hangs together.
The bass and the drummer
and
are
the
always
guitars
doing
and the
something.
vocals always. The
Yeah.
rhythm section is always. It's kind of like a.
And the keyboard sits at home going, why didn't they call me? No, he's calling.
One of the coolest moments as a friend watching was when NSYNC got back on stage just recently at the Will Turn, and knowing Chris for so long, and
Was that the
it's
thing for
happiest-
KLO? What was the radio station thing you just did?
No, this was for Justin's record.
It was for the. Okay.
Was it? There was. I didn't even know if there was a radio
I saw
station.
a recent post. It must have been for that.
It was reuniting. Dropped the song Paradise, and And
It's AI though, but it's really good.
But you see your friend out on stage, for the first time reuniting with his brothers. It was like one of the coolest moments. And being at my age now, and like I see a Hallmark commercial, I start crying. So next thing I'm talking to a woman of a certain age. I'm in Colorado, she's here, and I got just tears flowing. I'm like, that's one of the coolest like moments that you could ever see. But having like you guys get back out on stage, and you probably feel that same way when
it's just you know how hard it is to stay together as a band or any relationship, and then as you get older, you appreciate it more. You're mellower, and you also know when to let that person get out of their way, let them have a moment, But when you're in a band, you see each other at your worst. You're often tired. You're sleepless. You're missing home.
You don't eat. You're grouchy.
Yeah. So if you have any chinks in your personality, it's gonna come out. So that's why if you've got any baggage or a chip on your shoulder, you're not gonna last long in a band. You really just got to be easygoing and Yeah,
that's tough. That's big to even be able to say that, because those chinks are magnified so much when you're in the band that every little detail. You could tell me anything about your bandmates. That if you're doing an interview with a radio station, when they ask a question, who's going to step up and say something. You know what they're going to say. That this part, Joey's going to make a dick joke or something. It's going to be what it is. So each other so well, and that sometimes it's harder than a relationship because now, how many times up until my wife, I'd have 2-year relationships all the time, because in 2 years I'm like, I hate the way she chews. God, it's just like, why are you chewing like that? Like, or do you have gum in your mouth, or you're just
It is so hard to be in to find somebody in this world that you want to spend more than an hour with, relationship.
But you're talking about a band. You're talking about a group of people that all have their own agendas and all have the reason that they're there.
And you got history.
Yeah,
and ups and downs.
Both of you guys. So your band, you guys been together since '88 when you were in college in LSU. You started in 95.
95.
Not many people can say, especially in this industry, can say that they've been around with these guys for so long.
It's really cool.
It's pretty special.
And now I enjoy touring and doing it and singing. And I'm more grateful because you could go down that road like, why aren't we Coldplay? Why aren't we? We should have been.
Right.
But then you say, man, we get to be in the top 2% of 1% of musicians who ever endeavored to have a career. So
how many number ones?
Ezra's had 5
number ones.
One pop number one, and then the other 4 were number ones in alternative stuff. And the last one was top 20 in 2016. So
longevity.
So longevity, But then that's why I've always had to write outside the band and kind of.
2016. That's almost 30 years.
Well, you both,
in between from.
You both have Taylor Swift stories.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift fangirled NSYNC. What a crazy moment that was. And you just met up with Mr. Kelsey.
Mr. Swift?
Mr. Swift. Yeah.
He came to Justin's show, and I got a picture with my son, and it was the greatest. My son, who now plays Madden NFL he's 6 years old. Dad, I got to play. I'm like, all right, we're going to be the Steelers. Yeah, we're going to be the Chiefs. I'm like, what? Yeah, Travis.
Travis.
And yours is like you wrote a song and she did a cover for it, right?
So I've had I think it was in 2010. I just started hearing that she was covering Ezra songs. 2. One was called Our Last Night, another one called Breathless. And then she recorded it and performed it for that Hope for Haiti telethon. And in full disclosure, we're in the Tree of Trust. Like I said earlier, when I got called and asked, hey, can Taylor Swift cover your song? She wants to perform it. I immediately was like, cha-ching. I'm like, fuck you, Better Than Ezra. I'm never touring again. All that shit I said about friendship is bullshit. I have to. I got no other means of income. But then I realized, like, it's all going to charity. So.
What you should have said.
I get a Taylor Swift cut, but it all goes to charity.
What you should have said was, you can do it. September 28th and 29th, if you're around town, come on in, drop by the pilgrimage.
I have I've been able to stay friends with her and her team.
That's so cool.
And they're awesome. Tree Payne, who's her PR person, and I always every year I'm like, hey, it's me again, just checking on Taylor's, and I think I did that last year in 2023, and
She doing
they're
any
like
charity shows?
I know, right? And they go, Kevin, confidentially, she's on the road till 2027, but after that, if you want to talk.
You're Swiftie. I think say that
Everyone,
like,
you have to be a Swiftie.
I
If
think
you're
we're
not a
Swifties.
Swiftie, then you worship the devil.
I think if you got
You heard it here.
If you don't like Taylor Swift, then you've got a problem.
There's just a bitterness. There's like a bitter, yeah.
It's on you because you can't deny just the consistency of great songs, her business acumen, what she managed to do, and never
Her
stumble. If she
showmanship.
stumbles, man, then I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's nuts.
Well, it's great that we're in a world now though where we have like the Taylor Swifts, the Beyoncés that are just so massively big, and it's almost like you're like, how are they real? Like, how is this person?
What's crazy is that Beyonce.
Oh yeah, we didn't give her.
Can we talk about the cover photo for Texas Hold'em?
Oh, Texas Hold'em, yeah, on the horse.
Well, no, she's standing there with the metal.
Oh yeah. The album,
boat.
I think, is the horse, right?
Oh yeah, I think she is on the horse.
Yeah.
Just really great photography, great composition.
Yeah. She's really pretty.
We're
I mean,
totally
is that-
talking about music right now. I'm sure.
But I wonder how many female country artists are just secretly annoyed because Beyonce said, "Oh, country, that's happening. We should do a song just to dip our toe in the
Let's do
water
it. Yeah, let's
because
do
it's
it.
happening
Yeah.
right now and it's popular."
And Texas Hold'em is a
I
banger.
don't like it,
And
and she does it, and it's instantly number one.
Yeah.
It's huge, and I dig the song.
It's a
Yeah.
great
You
song.
know?
And she's gonna do polka now. She's taking over that world.
Well, she and Weird Al.
The polka queen.
The polka queen. Well, Kevin, I can't thank you enough for coming
Brother,
on the
thank
show.
you.
And honestly, it's been a pleasure, and it's nice to actually have a
And
conversation.
look, this is the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, we'll
take
have
it-
you back. You've
No,
got enough stories. That's what we had Scott Hamilton too.
Franklin,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah, we want to be
So
there.
let's do the
we're
name
going to do
drop.
that. Name drop. We'll have name drop show at the Pilgrimage
I'm
Festival.
gonna leave here with Jens. I'm like, that's never happened.
That's all right. When you leave here with her, I'm gonna look at him and go, "That's never happening."
Do that to me again.
You put me on the spot. There were cameras.
And congratulations on the new album.
Thank you,
It drops in May. What,
Yes.
May what?
May 3rd. May 3rd.
May 3rd. And then
it's called Super Magic.
It's super magic, and it's spelled differently with the K. I think.
Magick. It's the E vowel.
Yeah. And then you guys are going out on tour,
going out on tour
and you all like everywhere.
everywhere.
So you guys
Everywhere
start
east of the Rockies.
New Orleans.
Yeah, where are you playing in Nashville?
We're actually doing.
Besides for Pilgrimage.
We're actually doing. Pilgrimage is our yearly jam.
Yeah.
But we're doing a show at 3rd and Lindsley as an album release party. We're Lightning 100.
We got to come, Jensen.
I love 3rd.
So it'll be a blast, and maybe come up and sing.
Hell yeah.
Come up and sing.
Yeah, not Brian.
I'll come up for sure. I gave you that. You can introduce us.
I can introduce you guys. Yeah,
You can introduce
I can
us.
you, and I can just sit in the back.
Would
with
you
the
do me a favor?
Tambourine.
Will you wear the outfit you wore when you won Best Dressed over
Yeah.
Sam Elliott?
And would you get frosted tips?
100%. I got.
And wear
Ask
the
my
pink
son.
hat.
So I gave my son my Jordans. I have some some Carolina. Yeah, Carolina Jordan. Yeah, I can just get J1s. Yeah,
Okay,
totally.
good.
Yeah,
Man,
we can
this,
do that.
this was a special episode.
Thank you for
This was
having me.
special.
Thank you for coming on.
I love
Appreciate
it,
it,
and continued success.
Yeah. Thank you.
Name drop.
Yeah.
Name drop.